So, Teresa Tree here on a Sunday out at our Global Family Farm, and we're getting the crops that are finished now that the frost came out of the ground, the tomatoes, the squashes, and making a compost pile. So we have a volunteer that came to help me today, so let me show you what we're doing. Gina came today to help. She's getting some of the strawberry and squash plants. I'm going to follow her because we're putting them in a compost pile right here. We put the corn stalks on the bottom. They give airflow, and then being on the bottom of the pile, they'll decompose a lot easier. So you want to put your big stuff on the bottom of the pile. And now we're layering tomatoes and squash plants on top. And ideally, if we had some animal manure, we'd add that. I can add the comfrey leaves as a source of nitrogen. And water. It's been so dry lately. I need to keep adding to the pile, including adding water to the pile. So a few more squash plants she's getting. Here's where the corn patch was. And this is a big long compost pile that's been sitting there all summer. This would be called the passive compost system, where it's just sitting there, and unfortunately, it's not getting enough water or nitrogen on it. But one of these days I'm going to cover that up better and water it better, and it'll decompose over the winter, and then we'll either plant into that compost pile, which would be called Hugleculture, and permaculture we call that a Hugleculture pile, where you have your sticks and branches on the bottom, and then you add layers of green material and top it off with soil and wood chips, and then you can just plant right on it. So it's going to make its own berm, in other words. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is just planting hopefully vines along this fence. And there we go, using the vines to the fence to grow vines on. Thank you, Gina, for coming and helping today. And if you want to come and volunteer out here at our Global Family Farm, you can find me by an email of treelees@charter.net. And you too can get out here and be part of this creation, our Global Family Farm. We're all part of one family, and we're teaching the kids about the origins of food crops from the four corners of the globe, and to also be all in this together. This is what we just harvested. Okay, enjoy.